Well, now, welcome back. And as I mentioned earlier, today's interview is one you do not want to miss. Well, over the years, we've seen several unique competitions. Example, we have the Tour de France, whereby the competition is held over various cities in France. And then again, not so long ago, you had our very own Eliud Kipchoge, of course, defying all odds to run a marathon in less than 2 hours. Now, in studio, we're joined by a group of ladies who are on a tour, on a world tour, on motorbikes, and they're here to talk to us about it, how they started, what inspired them, and so on and so forth and so forth. Starting from my immediate left, we're joined by Grace Mwari, and then we have Moyo Kariuki, Lucy Munyenye, and Njeri Mwangi. Thank you very much, ladies, for giving us the time here at Channel 1 Studios. And maybe I should start with the one closest to me at the moment. I would like you to tell me what inspired the whole idea in the first place that you guys just decided to take a tour of the world on motorbikes.
Well, this is something that was started in the UK by a lady called Haley Bear, and it was something that was meant to unite the women in the world, women riders in the world, to make them united, to inspire women for them to be courageous. And it's all about women empowerment. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, Omoyo, she said it's all about women and whatnot, but in the first place, is it a competition? Are you aiming it? Let's say, are you competing against each other? Is it a record you're out to set? What is what exactly?
It's actually not a competition. Mm-hmm. It's meant to unite, like she said, to unite the women riders around the world. So we are passing a relay baton from country to country, continent to continent. Mm-hmm. And finally it's coming to Africa, and Kenya was very fortunate to be on the map. Mm-hmm. So it ends in Africa. Kenya is the last country before we pass it on to the Middle East. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, we did a story on you guys last year when you were beginning, so at the moment it's around, let's say 1 year has passed. So maybe can you tell us, are you done with the tour? Maybe Lucy can comment on that. Are you guys done with the tour, or is it still on? Maybe Omoyo, you can start and then Lucy will take.
Yeah, so actually I'm the one who's doing the world tour. So my husband and I have been on the world tour, and we've so far done 18 countries in 1.5 years. Mm-hmm. But I'm back in the country to participate in the Women Riders Global Relay. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I'm in the country now is because of this Women Ride. But our world tour is not over yet. We still have a long way to go. We've done Africa and we've done South America. We are heading to Central Africa and North Africa. Central America and North America. I'm sorry, my apologies.
Okay.
Yes.
And maybe on to Lucy now. You guys, did you meet because of this, the world, the women riders, world relays, did you meet because of it, or do you guys have, let's say, active motorcycle clubs here in the country that actually you were able to say, hey, we need to participate in this, let's be like the other women, let's unite each other?
Yeah, so all of us are brought together by the fact that we ride different motorcycles. So we are part of different clubs. They're all biker girls clubs, and then we also have Nyumba Kumis. And then when Mamoyo, during her travels, came across this Women Riders World Relay, she also posted it in some of the female biker groups, and we were like, yes, let's do this. So yeah, the first uniting factor is that we all ride motorcycles, and we're all part of different groups. But our passion for motorcycles has brought us really close together.
Okay. And now, maybe Njeri, what's your part in all this?
Well, like Lucy said, we're all from different groups, and we ride for different purposes. And what unites us is that we all love to ride our bikes. And we ride for different causes as well. And this particular one is a good cause because it unites all the women globally. And just that togetherness. I rode with my group to Rwanda earlier this year. And that's also something else that we did in our respective groups. So we ride for causes, we ride for fun, and we ride also to commute. And some of us even race. We had a representative who went to South Africa recently, and she was one of the racers who represented Kenya.
Okay. Yeah. Quite impressive, really. And starting from Jeffrey, since we were already talking about it, I understand that you guys all have different, for lack of a better word, categories that you race in. So maybe we can start with you coming back up until to Grace. I want you to tell me the category or which kind of bike you ride at the moment.
Okay, first let me correct this.
Mm-hmm.
We are not racers. We just ride. We ride. Some of us race, but like you said, we will each say if we race and what we ride.
Of course.
But I ride to commute and I ride for fun, and I ride a Hero Charisma, a 23cc. Yeah.
And I ride a street bike, a Suzuki Gixxer 155 SF, and I commute to work and from work every day. And over the weekend we do fun rides and charity rides. And now we're going to be doing the women riders work riding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Omoyo, it's your turn.
I ride a BMW 700cc, and my kind of riding is adventure. So I'm basically a traveler. And like I said, so far 18 countries under my belt, and many more to go.
Now maybe Grace, right?
Yeah, for me, well, it's both for commute and also as a career, because I'm also a off-road motorcycle tour guide. And so when I'm guiding, I use a dirt bike, which is a KTM 450 EXEF. And while I'm commuting on the road or for adventure riding, I ride a KTM 790 Adventure.
I do believe the next time you have you guys in studio, you should actually come with the bikes, because I'm sure some of the viewers are not quite conversant with the the motorcycle kinds and all that. But as you mentioned, some of you race, some don't, some commute. But then again, the risk is all the same. There has been the perception that riders are they tend to be quite reckless, for lack of a better word. So maybe how have you been dealing with that perspective?
Well, it starts with us following the rules of the road. So as long as you're riding and respecting other people on the road, then you have the perspective of sharing the road, and other drivers or riders, pedestrians, they will respect that. But also, as you mentioned, we also go through that where there are people who do not see the value of sharing the road with motorbikes. And so we as women riders, and actually most of the groups, Njeri's group, the Rwanda ride they did was to pass the message of sharing the road. And so we're doing more educative rides for creating awareness about it, about safety. Yeah.
Maybe anything to add on that?
Yeah. One thing that us women in Kenya, not just in Kenya, globally have been able to demonstrate is that we are safe riders, and we are very keen on safety on the roads. Statistics will tell, and numbers never lie, that accidents among women are not fatal or critical accidents. They are mainly something like dropping a bike, which is normal. Sometimes you're fatigued and you forget to put your peg down and the bike falls down. But we are keen on safety, and we preach safety and road safety in every ride that we do. Yes.
Okay, and for you guys, obviously competing in such a, let's say, a sport or a field, it's not just like motorsports. It's never easy, actually, when it comes to bikes and cars. It's quite expensive to get started. So maybe you can tell us how you've been able to manage that. And later on, Moyo will tell us how she has been able to actually do 18 countries, correct, I believe?
Yes.
Exactly, yeah, and counting.
Well, I think it's just, I don't think it's any different as having a car. With a car, you'll have to service it. It's the same thing with a motorcycle. It's just like having a hobby that you need to keep servicing, that you'll need to take care of for it to take care of you, So I don't think it's a secluded way. Like when we think of it as a very expensive means of living, we are sort of secluding it. We are assuming it's more expensive than driving, but it's almost the same price, because I'll get a helmet here, a boot there, a bike there, and when we put all my price head to toe plus the bike, it's almost the same amount of money you're paying to get a car.
Okay.
Then when you go for servicing, mine is cheaper because they say my engine is smaller.
And
That
petrol.
also goes for fuel.
Yeah.
Fuel too.
Yeah. And then I don't sit in traffic like you do.
Yeah. So time, energy, and money is saved.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Omoyo, 18 countries and counting. How have you been able to, manage all that?
So we started in the year 2018 in July, but before that, our planning took about 2 years plus. And we had to change our lifestyle, we had to start saving more, and we also sold the little assets that we had. And we put all this money together. We came up with a budget that guided in how much our planning would go and how much money we needed to raise, but we never got everything. So we looked at what we had, and we had two options. Do we wait to get enough, but when is that going to be? Or do we live with what we have and stretch it for as far as we can? We chose to live with what we had and stretch it for as far as we can. So far we've been able to cover 10 countries in Africa and 8 countries in South America. And we are heading to Central America and North America in next year.
Okay, and you mentioned something about passing on the baton, so maybe you can talk a bit about that.
Yes, so while I was traveling, around last year, August, is when I came about the idea, which was started by a lady in the UK, about having a baton transported across the world by women who ride motorcycles. And what caught my eye was the fact that this unites us and showcases our love for motorcycles. It also demonstrates our discipline and care for each other and love for each other, the sisterhood that we build, and the fact that we would even get to know each other across the globe. That was one amazing thing. And she asked which countries would like to participate, I, of course, stood up for my country. And the next thing was to introduce the same to my fellow women bikers in Kenya. Since I left Kenya, there is no day I don't talk to these ladies. I am still in the WhatsApp groups, I am still in the Facebook, in the Nyumba Kumis. So my support from these ladies has been there. And I really wanted to do this as a country. So when it came to happen and we got on the map, I definitely decided I must come back and ride with my team.
Okay.
This is my number one team.
The number one team.
My number one team is in Kenya, and I'm back to do that.
Okay, earlier on, you actually joked about you even had to say your last plate or something of the sort. But maybe Lucy can, explain more on the other challenges that you guys face besides, the financial.
In terms of being a normal biker every day.
Exactly, all around.
So I think one of my greatest challenges is usually the perception. The other road users, whether it's a person crossing the streets while walking or a person driving, they just assume that anyone on 2 wheels is a rowdy person. So they will push you off the road. They will, you have a right of way, but they just decide to bully you because they just assume this is a rowdy person trying to get around with a loud bike or a fast bike, and they assume all bikes, provided they are faired, they are fast. So I think as a country and generally as citizens, we need to start accommodating every road user, whether it's someone cycling, whether it's someone walking across the road, whether it's someone on a bike or in a car. And then we start addressing these perceptions and actually get to realize that it is someone's daughter or son, it's someone's wife or husband, it could be my girlfriend or boyfriend, it could be people we can actually relate to. It's just that they chose a mode of commute that involves 2 wheels. Okay. Other than that, they're an actual human being. I think when we start recognizing each other on the road as human beings, we'll start getting rid of some of these perceptions.
Okay, now to Njeri Mwangi, of course, earlier on you mentioned that you sometimes you ride for, let's say, charity, different initiatives. Maybe you can tell us about that, and are there any more initiatives coming up that we should be looking forward to and the likes?
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, the different groups, people ride for different causes. And there's as a motorcycle, Kenya, we used to ride to Narok, which has not happened. The organizer has not been able to put that together. But we'd ride to Narok and go to a children's home and feed them and stay with them and spend the day with them. And that has been multiplied in different groups over time. We've also ridden to schools. We do mostly schools and orphanages, and some have gone to hospitals because and mentorships. So when people go to schools, they go and talk to girls. Like us with the Throttle Queens, we go and talk to girls in schools and just encourage them, inspire them. I mean, just getting in with a bike completely gets them so pumped up, so excited, and it opens them up. It makes them very easy to talk to, and they can also ask questions, and it makes it very easy and it makes a very able space for us to talk to each other. So that's a good way to get together with young girls, especially. Okay. I believe it would go the same with boys as well. It's just that we haven't gone to boys' schools as yet.